Joining us now on the MasterCard Celebrity Hotline, former NFL coach, now with the NFL on Fox as an analyst in the NFL Network. He's Jim Mora Jr. Jim, how are you
Coach.
today?
I'm doing great this morning.
Hey, good to talk to you, Jim.
Hey, Coach, you're working with I-9 and you're dealing with youth sports and talking about concussions. I've had a few in my day. What are you guys doing?
Well, I'm a big advocate of what I-9 is providing the youth in our country, and that's an alternative to tackle football. Now, I'm not saying kids shouldn't play tackle football, because I think if you love the sport, at some point you have to move from flag football to tackle football. And what I-9 does is it provides basically a safe environment for you to learn the skills of the game. And it's not just football. Now, I-9 has a great program all around. They're involved with basketball, soccer, cheerleading. My two youngest kids, when we moved to Seattle, got involved with I-9 in both football and soccer and had a great experience. And they've since moved on to tackle football. But I think one of the reasons they became fundamentally good players and did it in a safe environment where they were avoiding head injuries and concussions is because they worked with I-9 sports. And, you know, here in Washington is where what's called the Lystead Law started. And it was named after a young man named Zachary Lystead, who suffered a debilitating head injury in a high school football game. And Dr. Stan Herring, who works with the Seattle Seahawks, and Dr. Richard Ellenbogen co-wrote a law that passed through legislation that says if you are injured, or if you have a concussion, suffer a concussion in a sport, then you're not cleared for play unless you see a professional. And I-9 has their same initiative in their When in Doubt, Sit It Out initiative. And I think that keeping the focus on the health and safety of our youth should be paramount. I'm doing a lot of work with concussion study. I'm helping with a company up here I'm investing in and investing time in a company called X2 Impact, which has created these devices where you can measure impacts in real time through devices such as mouthpieces and headbands with accelerometers and rotational access devices. They're on Notre Dame, they're on University of Washington, they're on Stanford players. So I just really commend I-9 for the programs that they put in place. And I know this, when my kids were involved with I-9 sports, I just felt like it was a great experience for them. Very healthy environment, learning environment, fun environment. They enjoyed the sport, and therefore, because of that good base, they're still playing today.
Coach, you're not an old guy by any means, but you've been coaching defense for quite a while now. How much has the technique and tackling when you teach youngsters, how much has that changed just throughout your career because of concussions?
Well, it's changing. It's ever changing. As a matter of fact, with USA Football, which is an organization that kind of monitors youth football through the United States of America, I'm on a thing called their Tackling Task Force with Merrill Hodge, and we develop videos and manuals on how to teach young coaches to teach tackling. And I think it's really changing, and it will continue to change. And I think the NFL is doing a good job of leading the charge. And some would argue that they're going overboard. And, you'll see some hits sometimes that get 15-yard penalties that you go, wait a minute, man, that's just good ball. And I agree with that. But I think we just need to continue to impress upon youth coaches and our youth that there's a proper way to tackle. You don't need to lead with your head. Keep your head out of it. It's about shoulders and chest, especially at a young age. The brain's still developing. You're still developing your skills. And I think if we can kind of change the culture at a young age, then we're going to help the sport in its long run. And I think that I-9 is doing that. I think they're changing the culture a little bit. Football, when you get to the high school level, when you get to the college level, when you get to the professional level, it's a violent game. And if you choose to play, then you understand there are some inherent risks involved. But when you're a 16 or 6-year-old to 14-year-old and you want to go out and you want to play football, this is just a really good alternative to playing tackle.
Coach Jim Mora Jr., now with the NFL on Fox. Great stuff. We appreciate you joining us
Coach.
via the MasterCard Celebrity Hotline and supporting Stand Up to Cancer. We'll talk to you again soon, Coach.
Anytime. You guys take care.